The other day we had a report that stated that we'd be seeing another classic map returning to Modern Warfare 2 at some point in the near future. With that, we got to touch on a little bit of the basics, but because I wanted to examine another portion of that report, we didn't go too much in and focus too much on the map content aspect of it and what to expect or maybe not for not only this upcoming Season 4, but further out beyond to Season 5, maybe a Season 6 if that's going to be something that does happen. Today I wanted to expand upon this report of the classic map aspect returning to examine it a bit further. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What map or maps would you like to see return to Modern Warfare 2 on top of perhaps original ones you'd like to see? And if you'll think we'll be seeing more than just one classic or multiple classic maps upcoming. As well, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Call of Duty. If you guys would like to join the community, I'd love to have you. And finally, today's video is brought to you in part by NordVPN, but more on them a little later. For now, let's jump into the potential maps we could be seeing and why others are pretty much off the table. So the recent report, just for a little recap here before we get into the discussion a little further, came from an interview with Teased and Jeff Smith, design director at Infinity Ward for Modern Warfare 2. In that interview, Jeff stated, "We're bringing an older one back that some CDL guys, they really liked when they were at the office. We pivoted around that and it's coming pretty soon." And as we mentioned, the part that kind of gets me here at that is pretty soon, the wording on that. Season 4 is naturally the closest and most viable option for pretty soon, since Season 4.5 would be nearly 2 months away at this point, and anything beyond that, naturally even longer. But if competitive players enjoyed it, that narrows it down a bit, usually meaning that it's a competitive map we've seen in the past, one that has been looked at pretty favorably. Now, in the past, we've seen a number of different competitive maps across the various Call of Duty titles, but given that it's Infinity Ward, it's likely going to be one of the Infinity Ward projects and properties, so we can start there. Just for example, things like COD 4 had Backlot, Crash, Crossfire, District, and Strike. Modern Warfare 2 had High Rise, Invasion, Karachi, Scrapyard, and Terminal. Modern Warfare 3 had Arcaden, Bootleg, Dome, Lockdown, Seatown, Terminal, Hard Hat, and Underground. Ghost had Freight, Octane, Warhawk, Sovereign, and Strike Zone. Infinite Warfare had Breakout, Frost, Mayday, Precinct, Scorch, Retaliation, and Throwback. And Modern Warfare 2019, most recently beyond Modern Warfare 2, had Gunrunner, Hackney Yard, Ramaza, Petrograd, Arklov Peak, Azir Cave, and Piccadilly. Now for me, I'd rule out a few of these almost entirely in regards to whole game offerings and maps that we'd end up seeing in that competitive aspect. Modern Warfare 2019, to me, that's the first of a few that we can scratch off. Not only because it's the most recent Infinity Ward property and would be kind of a tad weird to see, though we did see Shoot House and Shipment introduced here, but also because from my recollection, I don't remember really any pros raving about the maps on offer in the competitive scene for that inaugural year of the Call of Duty League. Additionally, a little further back in history, I'd rule out most of, if not all of the Infinite Warfare maps, since that was an entirely different mechanic set that those maps were entirely built for. Wall running, boost and thrust jumping, and much more naturally would not fit unless drastically altered for a boots on the ground Modern Warfare 2 game. But then another one that we can scratch off almost entirely, I would say, is Modern Warfare 2 maps, and for that, we can go into greater detail after a word from today's sponsor, NordVPN. NordVPN is the fastest VPN on the planet, and with today's partnership, you can try it risk-free for 30 days, saving upwards of 61% off the base prices at nordvpn.com/espresso. So you remember those days of Black Ops 2 League play where you'd be crushing some team and the next thing you know, you're hit offline? Well, NordVPN could have helped with that. You ever wish you could check out some of the region's content on something like Netflix? NordVPN can help with that. I remember I did that whenever The Last Dance was available first on Netflix Canada and not on Netflix US just yet. And I guess you ever been at an airport and really needed to upload a video, but you don't really trust the network security of the public Wi-Fi at LAX, though somehow the upload speed is still better than your home's upload speed? All right, maybe that one's a little bit more specific to me, but point still stands, NordVPN can help with that. Those are just some of the many examples as to how NordVPN can be the best VPN for you, protecting your data from whoever you want to secure it from, whether that be a basic example of like just your ISP to people with malicious intent like a man-in-the-middle attack. NordVPN is the fastest VPN solution in the world that's main priority is privacy. With 24/7 customer support when you need it, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and much more, it's well worth trying out and the investment you'll make. With today's partnership, you can save upwards of 61% off the base prices at nordvpn.com/espresso. So if you're interested, again, check out nordvpn.com/espresso, and thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. But why aren't we, or more accurately, why is it not likely that we'll see a Modern Warfare 2 map perhaps at any point during this year? I mean, we've seen half our maps from post-launch be either rehashes from other areas of not only this game, but also some classics remade or reimagined that have been in Modern Warfare 2. Shipment was originally from COD 4 and many iterations since. Shoot House was originally a Modern Warfare 2019 map. Dome was originally a Modern Warfare 3 map. The only crossover at all with Modern Warfare 2 was a portion of Terminal and Afghan in the way of battle maps, but directly ported from Al Mazrah. So why haven't we seen any sort of 6v6 reworks for this at all? And why likely will that not be the case for the rest of the post-launch year? This comes back to a prior rumor to tie everything all together with a bow, and it can kind of explain, honestly, a lot of the content behavior we've seen so far. The fact that Modern Warfare 3 later this year is rumored to be a major expansion for Modern Warfare 2 and including every classic Modern Warfare 2 map. Every original Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 map is rumored to be coming into this upcoming year's game as a major expansion, but a new game also at the same time. There's some really conflicting reports on that, but the basic gist of all of it is that it's going to be something that we see in terms of a classic reimagined, almost a remaster, but not quite, with a new campaign, potentially new weapons and maps on top of all the existing stuff. But that's the one thing that they're not going to do, is compromise that by adding in more Modern Warfare 2 maps into this year's Modern Warfare 2 game, despite the naming being incredibly perfect that you'd bring a Modern Warfare 2 map to Modern Warfare 2, which by extension, now saying that out loud, I wonder if we'll see any Modern Warfare 3 maps also at the launch of 2023 later this fall, and this upcoming project, if we'll see Modern Warfare 3 maps introduced with that. That's a different story for a different day, but that rumor explains exactly why we haven't really seen any crossover in a traditional multiplayer fashion. Additionally, there's also this rumor that everything that we have now in Modern Warfare 2, because it is going to be an air quote new game, but also expansion for what we have right now, is that everything that we have will be coming over into Modern Warfare 3. So I think the big ones that were initially reported, I think, were like maps and modes would be coming over into Modern Warfare 3, but that could potentially also translate to operators, weapons, cosmetics, all that kind of stuff, kind of how we had with Warzone the last 3 years, but instead of a standalone free-to-play experience like that, it's going to transfer from game to game, which is again a first for the COD franchise. But if that's the case, if there's Modern Warfare 2 maps, you then would by extension be neglecting existing content in regards to the 2023 offering. So there would be that crossover where they wouldn't want to do that. So to me, Modern Warfare 2 maps are kind of off the table entirely. Obviously, I do hope we see original maps as well, but with explicit mention of classic maps coming back, that's kind of my thinking and the thought process here for all that. But if that's all the case, if those sort of exceptions are valid logically, what does that potentially mean we can end up seeing in regards to content offering going forward? Ruling out maps from the games of Modern Warfare 2019, Infinite Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2, that still does leave a decent bit of number of maps, but I honestly kind of think that it comes down to, do they want to bring something back we've seen a million times, or something that we haven't quite seen? I mean, we've seen Crash reintroduced a few times, we've seen Backlot reintroduced a few times, both of those most recently in Modern Warfare 2019 throughout that post-launch content season. But instead, my hope personally for remakes would be things like Arcade and Bootleg and Underground from Modern Warfare 3, and then additionally things like Warhawk from Ghosts. Warhawk in particular, I remember, was fondly received, and I feel like that's really hard to come by when it comes to map reception. So I would be all for any of those. But it's definitely interesting to see the sort of unwritten hurdles that we have here, perhaps, that won't be revealed until later on in the year. It's directly dictating our content experience that we have right now. So that said, I wanted to expand upon this a little bit further because we only got to touch on it slightly, but there was a bit more of a deeper discussion I think to be had with this. So let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys want to see in regards to classic maps returning? Do you think that we'll see any Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 maps introduced before 2023's game later this fall? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2, and anything COD related, as well as some other FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.